Oh, yeah, guys, you know what time it is. It is, of course, the evening here. And, of course, we've got the Jobu Sports Report evening update. And right now, there's really not a whole lot that's going on with the Dallas Cowboys. You know, we're waiting for the rookie mini camp on the 14th. We've, of course, got the schedule coming out. Rumors of the Dallas Cowboys versus Tampa Bay possibly as an opening. And I'm working on an angle for just that. I'm working on getting a special guest that knows a lot about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers if we do, in fact, play them. And I think you guys will definitely appreciate that. And I hope you guys are all having a great Monday. I know that's crazy to say, have a great Monday, but, you know, I always look forward to Mondays because in about 2 hours from now, we'll be doing our live stream, and I can't wait to join you guys as well. So some interesting news before I get to the Cowboys is that Tim Tebow is signing a deal with the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's right. He is signing with the Jacksonville Jaguars, not as a quarterback, mind you. He is actually signing in as a tight end. And wow. You know, Tim Tebow, I guess he is one of those gym rats that just does not want to hang it up, of course, you know, being the quarterback that was with the Denver Broncos and then with the Jets and things, and that didn't work out. Went to baseball, didn't do terrible with that, but, you know, I guess his love is truly football, and he is going to be signing as a tight end. And I find that interesting because I remember Colin Cowherd was talking about Dak Prescott and really said Dak Prescott is a tight end playing quarterback. I did want to bring back, because I have to actually give credit where credit's due with Colin Cowherd, because, you know, I always give him a lot of grief. But he did say this about Tim Tebow. And let's go to the clip here.
All right, Tim Tebow got cut by the Eagles. And just let me say this, because it's not really a big story, but what we do as guys, we all do something as guys. We want to be great at something.
Look at his hair
guys are
then.
often judged professionally, right? I mean, you can have a lot of problems as a guy, but if you're a principal, a superintendent, a CEO, a quarterback, we look past your faults. Oh, he's successful. It kind of, for guys, a lot of times, that professional success changes everything. It changes your image. Right or wrong, good or bad, it does. So we all work really hard. We put the 10,000 hours in, the Malcolm Gladwell books. We're going to work. We're going to be great. And we would be outraged if anybody came to us and thought they knew more about our industry. Like, if you're a mortgage broker and somebody wants to buy a house and they start lecturing you on your mortgage rates, you'd be like, get out of my face. If you were a chef and somebody walked into you went to a culinary institute, you'd been in New York, you'd been to Copenhagen, you'd been to these, and all of a sudden somebody walks into the kitchen and tells you what to do with foie gras, you'd be outraged. Like, we're guys, we do that. But what is amazing with football is we all think we know more than the really smart guys. And we feel like it's our right to criticize Belichick and Chip Kelly. Bill Belichick, smartest football coach in the world, and Chip Kelly, the most creative offensive coach, maybe post Bill Walsh, had both come to the same conclusion. Tim Tebow's not an NFL quarterback.
Chip Kelly's an NFL coach.
Chip Kelly turned Oregon into a juggernaut, goes to the NFL, and Belichick has ripped things off from him. Chip Kelly's won 20 games in 2 years with C quarterbacks in the NFL. Nobody does that.
With a team somebody else built.
If you're average at quarterback, it is really hard to win 9 and 10 games, especially now in the NFC. He's won 10 and 10 in a tough division, in a well-funded division, with really good coaches, other good quarterbacks, Eli and Tony Romo. He knows what he's doing. They've come to the same conclusion. They didn't think he was good enough to be the third-string quarterback. Okay. He didn't say starter. He didn't say backup that just gets in. They're not good enough to be the third-string quarterback. And here's the thing. It's sort of like when Sarah Palin ran with John McCain. Like, I'm okay with Sarah Palin, like, being in the White House. Like number 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever those positions are. I don't want her as a 2. Because let's say John McCain's walking down the hall, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. He's walking down the hall, trips over a bread roll, bonks his head out. Sarah runs the country. I'm not interested in that. You can't have her that close to running the country. Okay? Old men trip over bread rolls regularly.
Right.
Okay, so Tim Tebow, you can have him on the roster.
I think I've heard enough of it.
I'm okay with the roster. You can't have him right behind Sam Bradford, who would pull a hammy yawning. Okay, the guy's been hurt his career. So therefore, Sam Bradford yawns in a team meeting, he's out, and Tebow's now with Sanchez battling, and it creates chaos. I like Tim Tebow. Send him to Canada. There's a lot of things about Canada we like.
Okay.
He could be the Labatt Blue, available in the United States, but mostly Canada's. You could certainly buy it here, but we're mostly not interested. 30% of rivers in Canada are Labatt Blue, okay? It's a great country. They give us Jay and Dan, Steve Nash, Bryan Adams. It's great, okay? We can access Canada and Canadian stuff when we want. But by and large, we don't want to. And to be a star, you come down here. Tim Tebow is a Canadian Football League quarterback, and it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of popular things up there that just don't come down here much, and we're not interested in. And we have stuff they're not interested in, like Detroit. So it all works its way out. And the other thing is, there's only 12 guys.
Okay, that's enough of it. But, yeah, so I guess Colin was right that Tim Tebow is not an NFL quarterback. I have to give him credit on that one. He got that one right. So Tim Tebow will be signing with the Jacksonville Jaguars to try out as a tight end. Now, one thing I want to just kind of touch on here before we get ready for the live stream tonight is the Cowboys. Are we going to look back and say that 2020 was a turning point for the Dallas Cowboys? I think the reason I say that is sometimes if you've ever had to deal with a person who has abuse problems, most of the time you have to hit rock bottom before they'll actually change. You can tell a person over and over and over again, look, you're in a bad place. You look terrible. You've got to get your life together. But they don't listen. They don't care. They're not hearing it because in their mind, they're okay. Everything is good. They're in denial. But sometimes you must hit rock bottom before that person actually realizes things are just bad and I've got to make a change or I'm not going to be here. And when you look at what happened this year, we went through all those years of 8-8, 8-8, and everything else and stuff. We always felt like we were just kind of close, that we're really not that bad. Until this year, we got a dose of reality, and we are that bad. But the thing with the NFL, and so many people, in fact, Cowboys legend, some years back, killed me because I said, maybe we kind of want the Cowboys to lose so we can affect change, so we can start this process over. Because in the end, getting 9 or 10 wins and one and done in the playoffs, it doesn't, it's a moral victory. Unless you're winning Super Bowls, that's what counts. And what happens is teams rise, they make the Super Bowl, they fall, then they rebuild. And for rebuilding, if you're at the bottom like the Cowboys were, just think about where we are now in comparison to had we limped through the season. If we had gotten 2 more wins, we would have won the division. Literally. 8-8, we would have won the division. And what would that have meant for us? Does that mean all of a sudden the next year you look at it and say, oh, they're headed in the right direction? Well, you look at Washington, they didn't pick until 19. They've got a target on their back. They have a lot more teams that were in the playoffs that they have to play this year. We, on the other hand, we have an NFL low, us and the Eagles, of only having 5 teams that we face. Only 5 that were in the playoffs. Now, you can say, well, to be the best, you got to beat the best. Well, I got to be honest with you. I think about Bill Belichick, who throughout most of the years of his career, he faced the Jets that were, for the most part, always inept, except for a couple of seasons under Rex Ryan. Miami, which has been nothing during the Bill Belichick era. And, of course, the Bills, until this past year, have been the team that lost 4 Super Bowls in a row and ran and hid. They had 6 easy games every year. 6 easy, winnable games that ended up keeping them healthy, having them feel good about themselves, and kept them high in the playoffs. Think back to when we had a disaster season in 2015 after having the 12-2 season with Tony Romo. We had a great offensive line. We'd lost to Marco Murray, although Run DMC still was, I think, 6th in rushing in the NFL, and I think we were 5th in running the football that year. Quarterbacks were ass. We ended up with high draft picks. We got Zeke. We got Jalen Smith. We got Malik Collins. We got Dak. We got Anthony Brown. And all of a sudden, we're 13-3, and in a shootout with Aaron Rodgers where Aaron Rodgers makes a miracle play that ends the season for us. I dare say if 2015 hadn't happened, 2016 doesn't either. And we may look at what happened this year of getting, Parsons and, some of the other players that we got this year, having the schedule that is cake. You can say it's hard, but I'm sorry, it's cake. 2 of the games we face of playoff teams are the Washington football team. Dak Prescott has only 1 loss in his career against the Washington football team. We've got the Eagles, we got the Giants, and out of the division, instead of us playing Seattle, Buffalo, Green Bay, we're playing lesser teams like New England and the Cardinals and who am I missing? New England, Cardinals, and Minnesota. So from the standpoint of being set up for the future, looking back, the best thing that happened to the Cowboys was actually that season going way south. It gave us a chance to hit rock bottom and affect some change. All right, guys, you know the deal. I'll see you guys at 9.
Our coach here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Tebow Sports Report.